the search for the next CEO at Uber over. Tracee Carrasco has the details on this. Good morning, Tracee.
Good morning, Dagan. Yes, we've been following this all along. We've been waiting for someone to get the job, and this is not a name that we've heard, but Uber's board reportedly named Expedia Chief Executive Dara Khosrowshahi as its new CEO last night. He's been with Expedia as their president and CEO since 2005, and reports say that he was named over Hewlett-Packard Enterprise head Meg Whitman and former GE CEO Jeff Immelt, who tweeted this on Sunday: "I have decided not to pursue a leadership position at Uber. I have immense respect for the company and founders Travis, Garrett, and Ryan." Now, Uber's been without a CEO since its co-founder Travis Kalanick stepped down from the job under pressure on June 20th. Khosrowshahi has experience in a digital industry that, like Uber, affects offline life and the logistics and movement of people. Expedia has travel brands, including Hotels.com and Orbitz. Expedia's revenues increased 18% according to its most recent earnings results, and has a market capitalization of around $23 billion compared with Uber's private valuation of nearly $70 billion.
Mitch, what do you think that this individual brings to the table in terms of, because Uber, when it first started, it seemed like it was this impenetrable fortress of a company, and you have all of these other services that came along and innovated, and Lyft in some ways is doing a better job than Uber is.
I think understanding the retail customer in a digital platform, and also being able to be agile. If you look at Expedia, they did a lot of M&A activity over time under his leadership, and that may be in the future for Uber as well. So
I think the important thing to note is that Uber has a lot of challenges on whether it comes to rules, regulations for municipalities, states, governments. I mean, they had to pull out of China. So that was a big red flag that happened. Then you have the situation with Alphabet and the lawsuit on Waymo's units. They need a strong leader who can manage a lot of these storms and be an effective leader from top down.
And then the image problem, too.
I mean, he has his hands full stepping into that new job. You know, day one, he's going to have to work on the corporate culture, that lawsuit, filling positions like the CEO, CFO.
Yeah, we talked about the valuation, and that goes back to the financials as well. They need to go out and raise more capital. They consistently have done that. They've raised over $15 billion. They need to go IPO. The valuation was actually knocked down by mutual fund companies last week by 15%. Right? So you never want a down round, and so he's got to get a lot of wins, and so the next fundraising round isn't a down round.
Yeah, I think they also really have to look at the impact of reputation, because a lot of people don't value reputation as much as they do some of these other operational issues. But if they don't have a solid reputation, if they don't rebuild that, then people aren't going to be willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. People aren't going to be saying, you know what, I'm going to be more lenient on regulations for you. They're not going to favor them in any way, shape, or form if they're seen as a bad actor. So he's really got not just the regulatory issues, but also how do you rebuild your reputation so you do get that benefit of the doubt.
And they didn't bring on a woman, which everybody thought they were going to do. So that was pretty interesting to note as well, because they've had a bad reputation when it's come to misogyny, sexism.
But you know what, man or woman, that's something that you can address in terms of the culture, regardless of your own individual gender. Tracee, thank you so much. Tracee Carrasco.